on YouTube? This is Parkerlab88 coming at you with another video. And in this video, guys, we're going to be doing a kind of like a hybrid character breakdown / Parkerlab video for Quantum Ranger. The reason why is because when I was going through Quantum Red's combos, I thought to myself that Quantum Red's sword loops specifically require a little bit more effort to explain than kind of just showing you guys a quick combo video. So for this, I'm going to go over my setups for quantum sword loops, and then I'm going to show you guys how to do quantum sword loops and explain like why you have to do things the way that you do while we're doing the combos. So let's go ahead and get started. So, the two things that we have to talk about when it comes to doing sword loops with Quantum Ranger. Number one, we have to talk about, obviously, how to do sword loops, and then how do we get to sword loops. Now, in order to do sword loops, the main thing that you do for sword loops is it's going to be looping your standing medium, standing heavy, forward heavy, and then you loop that back into standing medium, standing heavy, forward heavy, and then you just keep on doing it over and over and over again until you have about a smidgen left of your sword time, and then you just go into EX from there. And then just because of the way sword loops work, it doesn't eat up your extra bar, which is what makes Quantum Red such a dumb character. So that's, of course, how we do the sword loops. But the next thing we have to talk about is how we actually get to a state where we can actually loop it over and over again where they don't fall out like that. There are several ways to get to sword loops, which I'm going to show you guys all the variants that I can figure out of how to get to the sword loops from a lot of the basic confirms that you do from Quantum Red. But you have to be very cognizant of your special states. You have to be cognizant of your ground bounces, you have to be cognizant of your wall bounces, you have to be cognizant of your OTG states, and kind of like how those will affect your combo structure when you're going into sword loops. So the first combo that I'm actually going to show you guys is an extension of my bread and butter combo for Quantum Red, and if you can actually do this combo, then it actually makes sword loops, in my opinion, much easier, because you don't have to worry about all of the extra states and whatnot that could affect your sword loops because you'll use them up before you actually get to the combo. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. The first thing we're going to do is just anything that leads into the formation sword. So we can just do a basic crouching string. We can do crouching light, crouching medium, standing heavy into back special for the formation sword. Then after we do formation sword, we can do our staircase combo where we do a staggered air light medium into another staggered air light medium. Kind of like that. Now, depending on whether you're inside the corner, outside the corner, that's going to vary for this. So if you're inside the corner, you're going to want to jump straight up. Also, as you noticed right there, you're going to have to take a step back because Quantum Red moves forward whenever he throws the formation sword, and if you're in the corner, then when you jump forward, you'll actually end up behind the opponent, like in that capture state. Kind of like that, so it'll end up screwing up your combo. Now, if you're outside the corner like this, then you just you just go ahead and do the thing like you would normally, right? So once again, after you do the staircase combo, you'll then go into standing medium, standing heavy, and then you'll do forward special for the quantum leap, and then you'll press and hold the medium attack option, so you get that. That uses up the ground bounce, so that's one less thing you have to worry about whenever you're actually doing Virgil sword loops. So far, you should have something that looks like this. Now, after you get the ground bounce, you'll then do a crouching medium, standing heavy into another formation sword with back special. They'll be higher up in the air, like close to like up here. This will actually give you enough time after you throw it to charge your neutral special, and they'll be high enough up where you'll actually be able to hit them with a fully charged neutral special. This will use up your wall bounce, so that's one less thing you have to worry about again for when you're actually doing sword loops. And when I show you guys the other variants, I'll explain why. After you actually hit them with this, you will then go into your forward heavy for the OTG, and then that's where the sword loops will start.
I need more quantum power.
Just like that. So let's go ahead and do what we have so far. So that's basically where we are at right now. So through all of this and using the OTG states and whatnot, we've used up like the big properties that give us those big bounds and everything like that. So this will actually make the sword loops much easier to do. So once you actually get that OTG state and you activate sword,
I need more quantum power.
you will then go into standing medium. You'll delay it for a second, go into your standing heavy, crouching heavy for the launcher, and then you'll jump up and then you'll do another air heavy. So that part will look like this.
I need more quantum power.
Now, I skipped a part there on purpose because I would have to use up the states again in order to show you guys how I'd really do it. But if you aren't able to get that standing heavy and then into the launcher, you can just do that. You can just do the medium with the quantum sword into the launcher with crouching heavy, and then you can jump up and do another heavy, and you'll be close enough into the corner, and then the loops get started. So pretty much we have this right now.
Formation sword. Quantum leap. Vaporize. Formation sword. Maximum. I need more quantum power.
And then they just get started, and you do the loops once again, which are, you do the OTG first, then you'll do standing medium, standing heavy, then you'll do forward heavy again, and then you'll just loop it over and over and over and over and over again. Now, the last and most important part is you have to be paying attention to your time when you're doing this, because once you get to the last smidgen of time, and this will be right around whenever you're about to do your last OTG into your standing medium, you'll be able to go into EX from there. This is really important to pay attention to because you won't be able to do EX straight from the overhead, and if you do the standing heavy, it'll put them in a hard knockdown state, so your EX will not connect. So you'll be looking for that standing medium, and then you'll go into EX. So the whole combo altogether should look something like this.
Formation sword. Quantum leap. Vaporize. Formation sword. Maximum. I need more quantum power. Finish sequence. Forfeit time.
Now, I believe that is the easiest version of sword loops that I've been able to figure out. You don't have to do any kind of timing adjustments because, once again, you've used up all of your special states, your one wall bounce, your one ground bounce, and your one really big OTG that does that number right there. So you can just focus on doing the loops. The hardest thing about that is just doing the second capture state into the charged gun. And then the only thing I would tell you guys to practice is just throw the capture state, wait for Virtual Ranger to recover from his state, wait for him to go back to his neutral position like this, and then just practice doing neutral special from that.
Formation sword. Maximum.
Just like that.
Formation sword. Maximum.
Just practice doing that as quick as you can. If you do it too fast, then he'll just stand there just because it has like a link-based timing to it. If you do it too slow, it won't hit the opponent. So once you guys are done practicing that, you can actually try and actually integrate it into the combo here. Yeah, see, I actually did it too fast there, so because I did it too fast there, he just didn't do it. But once you actually get used to that, that's the hardest part of this combo, and then the rest of it is just kind of easy peasy from there. So that's why I think that this variant is a little bit easier, and if anything else, I think it's more fun anyway. So you guys can actually get this same combo from his overhead as well. Because, like, if your opponent is just standing there, for some reason this actually doesn't eat up your ground bounce, so the combo will just be the same. The only difference for it is that as opposed to after doing the OTG and going into your crouching light standing medium, you won't do the standing heavy, you'll just do crouching light standing medium, and then you'll throw the formation sword, and the rest of the combo just kind of proceeds like normal. So you should be able to get something that looks like this.
Quantum power.
you basically get all of that off of an overhead for 2 meters. So, pretty cool stuff. Alright, let's move into some combos that you guys are probably more familiar with seeing, because these are pretty much the combos that everybody else does, and it's pretty much going to be the combo that we do off of like a raw formation air blade, whether that's in the air or whether that's on the ground. We'll do this from throw as well, so like for instance, if we are in the corner, I'll be showing you guys both of those variants as well. So let's go ahead and talk about the first one, and that is what we do off of a raw hit of formation sword. So if you're in the air, keep mashing on that special button so you'll bring them back down to the ground for that ground bounce, and make sure you're keeping track of this. That uses up your ground bounce, and then after you do that, you will do a crouching light, standing medium, into formation sword. From there, we will do our staircase combo, and then we'll do standing medium, standing heavy. But as opposed to doing Quantum Leap into the fully charged shot with medium, what we'll actually do is we'll do Quantum Leap into the heavy option. Just like that. Now, after we do that, we'll then do Launcher into another Quantum Leap into the forward shot, which is, once again, with the heavy option. So basically, you should pretty much have this so far. Now, after you do Launcher into Quantum Leap, you will then mash on the special button and get all 5 of your shots. And then after you get that 5th shot, actually let me get back to this. So after you get to your 5th shot, you'll then cancel that straight into the Quantum Sword. Now, because they're a little bit above you and they're in the air, that 5th shot will actually cause a spin out. And the first difficult part about that is like you don't have like an obvious capture state or anything like that, or a giant bound from like the OTG whenever you go into Quantum Sword. So this will require you to pay a little bit more attention to where you actually go back to the screen, because you'll want to make sure to hit them with the standing medium and the standing heavy. And then as you saw before, the standing heavy, when you're juggled in the air, causes a wall bounce. But that doesn't matter so much, because after you do that standing heavy, you'll go into the formation sword, just like that. Now, after you do the formation sword, you will then jump up backwards, and then you'll do a heavy. And remember, this is all with the sword. So you'll basically get like that. But once again, you will have already used up the wall bounce. And then from there, we actually get into this variant of the sword loops. But let's just go ahead and go with what we have so far.
I need more quantum power.
So that's pretty much where we are at right now. Now, after we get that hit in the air, which leads to a hard knockdown in the corner, we will then do our OTG. Now, this is our final special state before we actually go into sword loops. Now, what you want to keep in mind is because they're bound in the air like that, you can't just go straight into the loops. You can't just go straight into the loops like that, because you'll see that the standing heavy will whiff when they're at a high. So what you want to do is delay it. Like that. At that particular point, you will have used up all of your special states, and then you can go on with the sword loops. So just remember to do that delay. And altogether, you should have something that looks like this.
I need more quantum power.
And just remember, that medium is going to be the last thing that you do before you go into your EX. Now, you can actually get this same combo off of throw. a forward throw in the corner specifically, or if you're like close to the corner. So let's say you're like here-ish or something like that. This combo should work because it'll push them towards the corner. Then you'll follow it with your OTG, which is going to be your crouching heavy for the gunshot, and then you'll just go straight into formation sword. And then the combo literally works like the last one. So if you're near the corner, you'll get something that looks like this.
I need more quantum power. Formation sword. Finish sequence.
So you guys have that variant. Alright guys, so the last variant that I want to show you for Quantum Sword loops is what you get off of a fully charged neutral special. Naturally, the first thing you'll do is the fully charged neutral special, and you'll have to be around about this starting range, maybe a little bit further back, but really not much further than this, because if you're like all the way back here, you might not be able to gain enough space to actually reach for your off-the-ground hitting forward heavy. So around about here, you'll do the fully charged special, then you'll run up, and then you'll do forward heavy for the OTG. After that, you will then do a crouching light, standing medium, standing heavy into forward special, and we'll do the heavy attack option. So the start should look like this. Now, from here, what you want to do is you'll land and you'll do a crouching light, standing medium, slight delay, crouching medium, standing heavy, then you'll do another quantum leap into the heavy attack option. You will then come back down and do a crouching light, standing medium into the formation sword. So this should look like this so far. Then after that, you'll do crouching light, standing medium, into formation sword. Now, after you do formation sword, you'll jump up and then do heavy. This will eat up your ground bounce. Now, after you do that, I'm not good at doing two loops, so as soon as I do this and I do the heavy afterwards, I'll just go straight into launcher again, and then I'll do quantum leap into the heavy attack option. And then, of course, you get your 5 shots. So the setup to that version of doing sword loops should look like this.
I need more quantum power.
So that's pretty much where you are right now. I actually think I did the second launcher that time. I wasn't paying attention. I guess I was just feeling it. But if you guys aren't able to do the second launcher, then just do the first launcher, and then come straight back down and then start firing shots. Just like that. Now, the good thing about this version of the loops is that at this particular point, you've already used up all your states. So after you fire your shots, you can go into Quantum Sword, do the standing medium, standing heavy. At this particular point, because we already used the wall bounce, it'll put them in a hard knockdown state. Take a breath, and then do the loops, starting from your OTG. So altogether, you should have something that looks like this.
I need more quantum power.
Wow, that's really dumb. You see why I think this character is the best character in the game? I got all that off of this. I got all that off of this. That's ridiculous. to think. If I was actually good at doing like the double launcher thing, I could have gotten even more damage out of that. But anyway, guys, that is my official breakdown of sword loops, all the variants of sword loops that I think that you would be practically using with Quantum Red in these combos and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think. I hope this works out for you, and I'll be back at you later with future videos. This is Parkerlab, and I will see you guys next time.